Thanks, Bree. Isaiah Thomas is back in coaching, and he's right here in South Florida. Florida International introduced the former NBA All-Star as its head coach Wednesday. Thomas won titles with the Detroit Pistons in the late 80s as a point guard. He was later hired as general manager of the New York Knicks. After a few tumultuous seasons as the GM, he took over as head coach, but was fired after going 56-108 in 2 seasons on the Knicks bench. Never mind all that. Thomas says he's looking forward to turning around the FIU program.
Quite a challenge for all of us. We'll need the whole community. We'll need our whole FIU family to be involved in this journey. As we climb up the road, and as we one day hopefully take this program to where the more established programs are.
FIU went 13-20 last season, so that's what Thomas has to work with. The turnaround got off to a rocky start when Golden Panthers provost introduced him as Isaiah Thompson. Ouch. Speaking of ouch, it's time of year for big hits by big men with big beards. It's time for playoff hockey. The NHL playoffs began last night in 4 cities, with the other 4 series to begin in 4 more cities tonight. And let's take a look at the matchups. The Rangers are already up 1-0 after stealing last night's game from Alexander Ovechkin and the Capitals in Washington. Sidney Crosby and last year's Eastern Conference champs take on in-state rival Philadelphia. Columbus is in the playoffs for the first time in franchise history, but they drew the defending Stanley Cup champions in Detroit. And San Jose has the league's best record. They'll take on Anaheim. The NBA playoffs are also starting this week, and the Miami Heat are right in the thick of things. D-Wade and company grabbed the 5 seed in the East. They'll take on the Atlanta Hawks in Atlanta. And here are some more important matchups in both conferences. LeBron James and the number 1 seeded Cavaliers start their playoff run against Detroit. The world champion Boston Celtics will settle for the 2 seed and will take on the Bulls. Kobe and the Lakers are number 1 out west. They'll take on Utah. And the NBA's most intriguing team, Portland, will start at home against Ron Artest and the Rockets. Now, if you're walking around campus this weekend and you feel like everyone else is faster than you might be right. That's because the ACC Track and Field Championships are coming to Coral Gables tomorrow and Saturday. Athletes from all over the ACC will converge on Cobb Stadium to compete for the conference title and to qualify for nationals. And don't forget, Newsvision's own Nena Kamate will be competing. So take the short walk over there and watch the fastest men and women on the East Coast do what they do best. And staying with sports, the Lady Hurricanes tennis team earned the number 1 seed in this week's ACC tournament. The team is 10-1 in the ACC and 21-3 overall. They come into the tournament ranked 6th in the nation and riding a 10-match win streak. The quest for the ACC title begins Friday night at 9 p.m. against Wake Forest. And this week's silly sports story is one that would make former Vice President Dan Quayle proud. The Minnesota Timberwolves were holding a Read to Succeed night at the Target Center on March 22nd. The catch? They passed out signs with their own team's nickname misspelled. Instead of spelling Wolves W-O-L-V-E-S as it should be, the L was left off. Not to worry, the missing L was later supplied by the team, which lost to the Oklahoma City Thunder by 7. Memo to Minnesota, if you're going to encourage reading, you should start with your front office. And that's it for sports. Now over to Nick Maslow for a look at what's in the papers.
Thank you, Mitch. The New York Times is reporting that some Afghan women are defying convention. About 300 women protested in Kabul, Afghanistan Wednesday. They're demanding that Parliament repeal a new law that makes it legal for a husband to rape his wife. Other parts of the law require a husband's approval for a wife to go to work or school, and it also makes it illegal for a woman to refuse to dress up at her husband's request. Afghan men yelled obscenities at the women during the protests. In the Miami Herald, 10 teenagers from the Florida Keys are charged with child pornography. The Monroe County Sheriff's Office says that the teens participated in the production of a video showing 2 of them having sex. The female in the video is said to be 16 years old. The male is 19. One of the girl's friends told her school about the incident. Authorities got the video from the mother of one of the teens. She found the tape in a video recorder a day after the incident reportedly took place in her home in Key Largo. All 10 teenagers face charges of sexual performance by a child, which is a second-degree felony. And in the Miami Hurricane today, a profile on musician Kyle Crosland, a junior at UM. Crosland is the latest recording artist to come out of Kane Records, UM's very own record label. The Hurricane describes his music as bouncy pop rock. Crosland will perform Friday night at the Mack Building, located at 5960 Southwest 57th Avenue, across the street from University Village. The event kicks off at 8:30 p.m. with free food, drinks, and, get this ladies, hair and makeup treatments. You'll be able to sample Crossland's debut music, which he says was written in the UM dorms. And that's what's in the papers. I'm Nick Maslow. Stay tuned. Health Watch is coming up next.
I joined the National Guard and never thought I'd be saving lives.
I never thought I'd have such an impact on my community.
It's more than money for college. It's built my character and given me a sense of accomplishment.
Citizen soldiers have two missions. One is right here at home during emergencies.
The Guard opened the door for me. Now I'm on a career path, and I'm the leader of my team. When your country calls, you go, proudly.
I put on the uniform, and I have a whole new outlook on life.
Country, community, family. That's what matters most to me. If that matters to you, go to 1-800-GO-GUARD.com.
Welcome back to Newsvision. I'm Jackie Smith with Health Watch. With finals right around the corner, you might want to stock up on some Advil for those late-night study sessions. That's because the National Headache Foundation reports nearly 80% of people will suffer from a type of headache brought about by stress. Tension headaches happen when head and jaw muscles tighten up. Doctors say meditation and yoga can curb the intensity of tension headache by easing stress. Well, that pinch of salt you put on your fries might be more harmful than you thought. A recent study reports that Americans use a whopping 50% more sodium than is recommended. Sodium-rich diets often lead to high blood pressure, heart problems, and strokes. The American Heart Association says you should only consume 2,400 milligrams a day, which is just over a teaspoon. A new therapeutic robot in Japan is proving to give some comfort to its senior citizens. A baby seal named Paro has more than 1,000 sensors which respond to light, voices, and even language. Many senior citizens have said that Paro has become their friend and helped them through tough times. Inventors believe Paro has the ability to help elders with more serious diseases like Alzheimer's. Although there has been no long-term medical studies on Paro, countries including Denmark and the United States are testing them out in their nursing homes and hospitals. Listen up, gamers. If you traded in your gym shoes for the popular Nintendo Wii workout game, you might want to think again. People around the country have been replacing their daily gym workout routines, opting for staying home and working out with their Wiis. But this virtual workout is causing injuries to people around the country. Dr. Michael Rosenblum has recently seen a lot of patients complaining of these Wii injuries.
Of injuries that we see are people who injure their shoulders, getting a lot of irritation in their neck and in their upper back and even into their shoulders.
Some ways you could prevent these injuries is simply to stretch and loosen your muscles. Also, clear your living room and make sure there's enough room between you and your partner. That's it for Health Watch. Now back to Ryan and Jenna.
Thanks for watching this edition of Newsvision.
We hope to see you same time, same place next week. Good night.